Astral Modulation.
Welcome everybody to another progress report about Astral Modulation. This is the second progress report. We are currently in, this is week 3's progress report, but we just started week 4. And let's just get into it. So what have I been working on? Well, I have been working on the map editor, and let me be real with you guys, I was scared to get this started, but I believe it has turned out into something amazing. So let's go into our map editor right here. So here we are in the map editor, glorious 1440p, which I'm now uploading in. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna load in a map, and we have several maps right here. We have a file exists 0, and actually file exists 0 is the same as example map 101, which is actually going to be included with the game as sort of just an example map. So when you first load up the map editor, here, let's go to the main menu. When you first load up the map editor, it's pretty much just going to show you level 1 of the game. This is level 1 right here. Basically, we also have like these options menus too. Level 1 it's just by default what the map editor is going to show, and you can just build off from there. Example map is also showing you, hey, you don't have to have a black hole, you don't have to have the Earth, you can set it as Mars, and you can select all these different types of coins. Now there are a few more features I would like to add to this map editor. Some involve like full customization of the objects, like setting colors and stuff. But one thing here, you'll notice the sun has do physics set to false. One thing I want to add in the map editor is having it set to true, so that way you could have the sun obey the laws of physics, and even like set a direction for it to be launched at. Same with the Earth, the Mars or whatever. Set a direction for the hint it's going to show in the level. So we can go into the controls right here, and there is one missing, which I'm going to showcase right in a bit. But pretty much you can select items by clicking, you can move them around by right-clicking, and then having them selected, you can change their preset. It's also going to show you the game options, and it's going to show you how to move the camera. You can also click to move the camera, and you can just sort of drag it around, or like just tap it. Then we have Control S, Control R, Control A, and Control D. And those are all pretty self-explanatory. Now the one I didn't have on that menu is you can press R. If you are moving an object, you can press R. You might be wondering, well, why do you have that? Well, typically you cannot set two objects on top of each other and move them together, but if I go over here, let's add a star, we'll eventually see that one of these stars, this one right here, another one has spawned on top of it, and so you cannot separate them. So if that happens, you just go into the move, so you right click and then press R, and it'll just randomize their position a little bit. Sometimes it would be very rare, but this happened the other day. It randomized them in the same spot. But now I can try my best to try and stack them back together, and it won't happen. You can add objects, so if you press Control A, you can add a star or a coin. I think that one was created right here. I don't know where it was created. But basically when you add objects, it's going to add them in a random spot around the little camera mover, so the center of the level. You can adjust the passing score and the needed orbits and the time. Passing score can go up to 10,000, needed orbits can go up to 25, and timer can go up to 120 seconds. So I kept it all within reason. We can then save this map and play it, and it's going to be utter chaos. And we also have sound in the game, so I added some sound. Alright. So there will be sound when you pick up coins and when you make an orbit around an object. So those are some things I have added. Let's go back to the map editor and let's get out a full screen because I want to show you something. So if you go into your local app data, I almost said local ape data. This is where GameMaker is going to store stuff for the game. So all your maps and stuff that you create are going to be stored here. Now we can take these and we can copy them and paste them a few times. We load map, you'll see that it then pages all of this. So we have 15 files right here. We click next and we can view 15 more, and then we click next, and these are the last of the files. Let's close this, otherwise I believe it crashes the game, and let's just undo all those copies. Oh yeah, there we go, crashed it. I also wanted to showcase the HTML build. So I actually have this on itch.io. It's private, so you can't see it, but the HTML build will not have a map editor. Why? Well, with GameMaker, you can't save and load files on HTML, and it kind of makes sense. I'm sure there's a way to do it with web cookies, but that's just simply not going to work. Anyways, so the map editor is going to be completely absent from the title screen. Now, it still technically is in this game. You just can't access it. And now, I also wanted to show this because there was a little error that I overlooked where the game manager would try and load the files for certain levels. And testing this on my own computers, it worked fine. But uploading it to itch.io completely crashed. Every time I'd click play game, it would crash. But now, here we are in the game. Everything works. However, you're going to notice we no longer have a high score. Why? Well, because the high score would pretty much just be whatever score you got. There wouldn't be any way to beat your high score. Why? Because you can't save and load. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to show you with the HTML build. You can still sort of access the options, although once you full screen the game, it becomes a little hard. Oh, for some reason, I can't even click now. Yeah. So there are a few things to iron out, but other than that, we got the HTML build working, we got the game working, and I do want to show you, let's go to my awesome desktop right here. Oh, ho, ho, ho. I do want to show you an older build. Let's go to the map editor. Let's create a map with absolutely nothing in it. We're going to save this map, and we're just going to call it nothing. We're going to play it. Oh yeah, we've got to load it in, so nothing. It's all loaded now. Now we go play, and you're going to see, oh no, the Earth wants to orbit the moon. Yeah, that's a bug. It's not supposed to do that. The Earth is not supposed to orbit the moon. If I launch the Earth, boom, it'll orbit and then it'll crash. Now, why does it crash? Well, because the moon gets destroyed when the Earth collides with it, or when it collides with anything. Well, obviously, the Earth can't orbit a destroyed object, and I have code telling it not to fall back onto itself. So I had to adjust the code to where it's like, okay, just fall back onto yourself. Don't try and orbit an object that has less mass. So this bug is now fixed. The moon also just turns invisible now, just to prevent any other unintended errors. But yes. And then we have these lovely little debug messages. There's actually quite a few. Let's see if we can get another one. Nothing play. Closed on Sunday. Yeah. And then it will always say we still love you. You've always got to be nice to your players. Anyways, that is it for this progress report. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. This has been MicahTheManiac, and I guess I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.